What's up guys, welcome to another product feedback video. Mohammed here with a review of the Thermaltake Chaser A41. Now if you haven't yet, give this video a big like or thumbs up as we get into the full review of this case. It's an interesting looking product and it's new on the market, and we got one of our first hands-on ever in the world hopefully with this case. Looking at the front, it's got an interesting design style here with this kind of glossy plastic with the matte plastic on the left of the case. It looks actually really nice and appealing from the front, and it's got these angular vents that really make the case look aggressive when it comes to gaming in that form and sense. Thermaltake logo on the bottom, which a little bit is on an angle, but that's something that Thermaltake can address with their quality and insurance during the development of the case. The front blue bits which you saw there are actually a way to remove the front covers. It's a much easier way than having them accidentally pushed in and having to open up the whole chassis just to get the little plastic out. It's good how they implemented it into the design. Looking on the top here, we've got two super speeds, so USB 3.0 ports, a microphone and headphone jack, as well as the power button and reset. The reset is a bit awkward to get to, but they did it to kind of fit in with the design of the case, but it's a bit hard to press. Now they also included this kind of spot where you can put your things. I'm assuming if you ever wanted to take the case with you anywhere, you could do that. As well as the fact that on the top here you have enough room to mount a 200mm fan, which is included actually with the case, as well as a radiator up the top, or your choice of 140mm fans or even 120mm fans depending on what sort of setup you're going for. Personally, I usually have my radiator on the top of the case because heat rises, and that way it's much more convenient. And just showing you here kind of the way the case fits all together in this design style that they're going for. On the right side, there isn't much happening except this kind of protrusion from the side panel, which gives actually quite a lot more space when it comes to the cable management inside the case. As you can see here, it's got a nice amount of cable management space. Not only that, it does have the rubber grommets there so you can feed your cables through nicely and route everything really nicely and neatly inside the case. I like how the fact that all the cables coming from the front of the case is actually also black and fits in nicely with everything else. On the back, we actually have these really interesting cool design that I noticed. Normally these screws actually pop out, but they've actually designed them so they don't fall out of the casing. On the back of the case, we've got room for water cooling, as well as a blue LED lit 120mm fan. And you also have 7 expansion slots, so you can fit in quite a nice array of SLI setups if you decided to, as well as the PSU slot on the bottom of the chassis. Now looking at the side of the case, it's got a massive window there to show off all your internals. It actually looks really nice, and I like the way that it protrudes as the back does as well, so it can give a bit of evenness around the case. They include this clip here which flips down and allows you to store your headphones. It's a pretty neat setup. I like that they've included that on this case as they have done on many other Thermaltake cases as well. On the inside here, as you can see, they've given you quite an array of cable management. But not only that, the cables are a USB 3 internal cable, so you don't have to route it back of the motherboard, which is pretty neat indeed. You also have this toolless array for your hard drives, as well as a toolless setup for your either CD drives, DVD burners, or anything else you want to put in on the front, which is actually really neat, but kind of what we expect these days in a case. The bottom of the case includes a dust-free filter, as you can see here, that you can pull out and clean, as well as these feet. Unfortunately, they don't have rubber on the bottom, as I expressed in my other review, which would be nice, as I found that they may scratch the top of your table where you place the case. The Chaser A41 is an interesting case. It's definitely targeted towards the gaming enthusiast without stretching their budget when making a computer, so it's definitely a good choice for those who are building a budget design PC. Obviously, the design language used on this chassis is dependent upon your taste, but the build quality and the design and the amount of room that it has on the inside is definitely enough, and I can't really pick any bad faults with it apart from the reset button being a bit hard to get. This angular look, this aggressiveness is pretty interesting, and it is something that a lot of people I know in the gaming industry don't mind. So apart from really that, I don't have any other complaints. In this case, definitely seems to be quite good value for money. It is a mid-tower case, and it does support pretty much anything you want to throw at it. I like the fact that it's got the USB 3.0 internal header, so it's definitely a nice looking chassis and something I would highly recommend if you're on a budget. This has been Mohammed with another video. Make sure to check out all my other videos on the channel, and peace be with you.